discuss infrastructure as a discursive tool. We wanted to speak with you both because we know your activities since a long time, and in Daesh camp, in the Fawar Camp, we were very interested with the design of the square and the process and your role and your engagement with the inhabitants. And we call it camps as commons because this is also a discussion that Decolonizing Architecture Initiative and Campus and Camp Initiative we're discussing a lot. And there is new, of course, recent commons discussions, and actually refugee camps are never being considered as a place for practicing commons. So it's a kind of, let's say, a new discussion that mainly actually DAAR and Campus and Camp introduced in our knowledge. So we did call this session Camps as Commons. So we wanted to hear and talk about your experience, and maybe we can start with the project of the square and your activities and how you see the process in a negative and positive way. This was the reason we invited you both, and thank you very much for accepting it. I don't know how you want to start, but I thought we can start maybe starting the process of the square, of designing and the whole engagement. Ayat, Sandi, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can. Maybe we can do this.
Maybe we can introduce you and Ayat first, because I'm recording. I think it's important that also.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Sandy can talk first about the design of the square, then I can talk about the activities there.
Yeah. So, okay, I will maybe try to begin, introduce myself and maybe DAAR and Campus in Camps, and then maybe Ayat can continue. I might be interrupted by my daughters because we are at home. It's a period of vacation, so I mean for that, and I anticipate that I might sometimes be interrupted. So. Yeah, in a sense, I mean, the whole square project began through my engagement with the Camp Improvement Program. I was directing the Camp Improvement Program, which is the UN that refugee to Palestinian refugee camps. And it's simultaneously, I was very much engaged as a co-founder of DAAR. So in many ways, my engagement with the Camp Improvement Program was very much at a certain point for me. There was a place where I practiced theory and thought about things. On the other side, through the UN, I was very much having the opportunity sometimes to reflect upon by practice.
May I say something?
No. Yeah.
Sandi, may I say something technical? Your sound is coming and going back. Do you mind open one sound recorder on your side? Because I have one sound recorder in my side, but your voice is coming and going back. It's difficult sometimes to hear. If you
okay, I don't know.
If you have a sound recorder, do you mind just open from your side? Then we can have later a clear sound recorder.
A sound recorder. Should
maybe
how can I?
Phone. Maybe with your
what
phone.
Do you mean by should the?
Ayat, do you have a phone that you can open your sound recorder on your phone?
Okay, sure.
The easiest one, the easiest way. Sorry for that, because it can be difficult to sometimes with the internet line. I guess some part I heard difficultly. Sorry for that.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Maybe this one. No, I saw it. 1 second. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much for this.
Okay. So Yes, let me also try. I don't know if I have it, because I can do it from anyway. Okay, so, and I will try to maybe speak slowly, so you will receive me much better, no? Sometimes I speak quite quickly. Okay, so should I repeat what I said already and reintroduce myself?
No, no, it's okay. I just want to make safe, you know? Yeah, okay.
So when, I mean, through my engagement with UNRWA, one major question came very strongly, which is how can we perceive collective space that, and in that sense also public spaces, without a very clear public in the space, no? In many ways, refugees are managed by anyone, but by the community itself. UNRWA, which is the UN, that is the only official body that intervene in refugee camps, claims that they only provide services. They do not manage the camp, and this is a major point. Not a body that is not a manager body of the camp, but mainly they are providing and relief to refugees. So in many ways, that I saw that there is a lot of collectivity there. People are actually having a collective life among each other, but of course this was that visible in many ways because there was no clear public in that sense interested into creating plaza, into creating place can take place. So in that sense, we got this, I took this challenge and interesting in understanding, perceive a collective place, even architecturally, in refugee. The major will be managing this, how it could be managed, because so far, there certain verbal understandings, no? So the street is, I can use this, can use the street that other way. This is my border of my house. I can have my extension of my house to this. That's it's a complicated way of self-organization. And from the first moment you into this, which is, I mean, a very visible place of collectivity, then a lot of questions raised. This, is it a neighborhood plaza? Is it a camp plaza to everyone? Is it not open to everybody to come? And actually, in that sense, we knew that it was not an easy topic to interfere in, especially a place like Fawar refugee camp, that exactly few months before we begin to design the plaza, I mean, 5 people were killed literally because of a conflict on its zone. So it's not an easy to say that you want to be quiet, I mean, challenge and even dangerous thing to do, but we accepted the challenge, and the community was very much up to it, very much up to accept the challenge, and we found very much into that and very much interested into doing it. And actually we chose a place that was already sort of used as a collective place, but it was much more smaller. It wasn't, I mean, that prepared to be a plaza. And with most of the people that had to do with this, we decided we would like to go for this challenge. But of course, it is still, I mean, it's a plaza that we began to design 8 years ago almost, and we are still understanding what is it that we did. And it's a very long and ongoing project for myself and for Ayat, because it is a real challenge. So I will spend some few words on the design process, how we designed and why the design was done this way. And then I will explain how Ayat came into the picture, and then maybe I can ask Ayat to speak about her role in the plaza. So we arrived there, one major point for the people of the neighborhood and community is that this space should not be open to everybody the way we perceive public spaces in any other place. No, and they very much insisted on the fact that if people will not do the act of entering the plaza by themselves, then this might create a lot of problems. And I will explain why. I mean, they absolutely didn't want that somebody that don't know the place, don't know the camp, or whatsoever, is walking through the alleys of the camp and then to find that, because in that not be able to manage it. They would like, actually, and they gave a very clear example. For example, if somebody will happen there by chance while he didn't intend to enter into the plaza, and something will happen to him, a stone will be thrown against him, or a football, or he will fall down on the stairs or whatsoever. His problem, he didn't know that he's getting inside the plaza. While if he will do the act of getting inside the plaza, means that there are some doors that makes you to get inside this plaza, then this means that him to do so. And so what clearly is that they said that what they wanted is 4 walls and 3 doors through which people will get inside the plaza. And each one of the neighbors decided even the height of the wall he would like, and the permeability of the wall. And then you look at what they mainly, this sort of house without listening the history of a refugee camp, because they never meant to be there. They didn't come to build houses and roofs. They came, they going into tents and staying there for camp came back very, very clearly is that what they wanted is a sort of place that is semi-private, semi-public. It's almost a house without a roof. It's a place that you get in, and it has some of the elements of the private, which is a sort of control who would get in, who would get out, a sort of a way that permits people to still be having this verbal negotiation among themselves, how to manage the place, how to place, who will be owning the place, in which way the neighbors can claim ownership, etc., etc. So there was a need also within the design to design almost what I would like to call it semi-public. As I began to explain, the camp is not fully public because it's not actually managed by the UN, but it's don't own this. They have only the right to use. So the whole lacking this private and public notion, and we thought that the plaza, if we want really to sort of describe the public, then the public is this semi-public, semi-private, is what is the camp is representing right now. And actually this sort of design gave people the possibility to be able to manage and not to get into harsh conflicts, and not to, because in that sense it was almost a home that is open to everybody, that they need to share in common. No, and this makes it possible. It's not the usual open plazas that the municipality will take care of. It is a house that is open to everybody in the camp to share and take care of. And actually after this, when I come back and see how people use it, they all in many ways claim that the design of the place helped very much actually point to actually keep and work on it for the design. So we ended up by having a very banal 4 walls out a roof. And then of course I was also in camps, and here where I met Ayat, and here where we began a sort of, since the beginning, I mean, there was a very crucial point within the design of the plaza, is that who will be using this plaza? Is it open to women? Is it not open to women? Is it something that can actually be open to everyone? And especially because we are speaking about a very conservative camp like Fawar refugee camp. And in many ways, this was a crucial point. But of course, as an architect coming from outside, it wasn't my struggle, actually. It was something that we talk about a lot. We had discussed, thought how the design might be encouraged this. But and then I met Ayat for Campus in Camps, and she applied to become a participant of Campus in Camps, and we immediately clicked. She immediately thought that this might become her space of struggle, no, in many ways, and because she's very much interested into claiming the women rights, we thought that this would be one of the best places to claim the women right to be in the public and to be outside and to claim their and it's not only about claiming their being physically outside, but they're within this collective life in the refugee camp. And it's from there that we began this project together in campus in camps, where the whole idea is that how this can be an ongoing
I cannot hear. Maybe you can go on and off. I can't hear anything. Hey,
here now.
Yeah, now I hear.
Hello?
Yeah, now I think the internet connection is very weak. This is why it goes and come, and now I hear.
Yes.
Ayat, you hear me? Ayat, do you hear me?
Now
You do you hear me?
that we have some voice now.
Huh? Now I see you. Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. 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 It goes. I mean, we had the same problem with Teddy Cruz with the meeting with Miguel, and the sound goes and comes because of the internet connection of both sides. I think. Sorry for the technical thing, but the last part I didn't hear. But you were talking about.
We miss.
Yeah, you hear me? I hear you well.
No, now I'm missing you back. Could you repeat what?
I understood the last part, and
yeah.
You hear me? You see me right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Where did you arrive with me? Which was the last part that you heard?
You were talking about how the space is a kind of a house without a roof, and how people are decided according condition, like a semi-public space, and
Okay.
which is different than what we generally think as public space, especially in the Western world. Public space has different. And then you were talking about how Ayat is became an active person in the Campus and Camp, and how you began to start to work together.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't miss almost. Yeah. What I was saying is that you know, and luckily enough, and because she's amazing, Ayat managed. She became the director of the Women's Center, and she is almost trying to understand how she can create all these collective spaces inside DAAR and outside DAAR in order to create this women movement in a place like Fawar refugee camp. And in many ways, the plaza gave her a lot of physical visibility in many ways to begin to be able to claim this movement, to begin to be able to actually have women around her and to claim that what they would like to do is relevant politically, socially, and in many ways understanding how can we begin to understand camps today in the West Bank as a collective common place. So in that sense, maybe I will now move to Ayat, that she can a bit explain her experience, and then maybe we can come back to certain points.
Yes, yes.
First, I want to introduce myself. I am Ayat, and I am a participant of Campus in Camps and the director of Women's Center. I want to talk about the square and how it became a part of my life and a part of my work. As you know, common places is limited and barely not existed in all camps. So the square was the only common place in Fawar Camp. I started working with these women in 2012 since I joined Campus in Camps and start working in the square initiative. At the beginning, when the square was established first, it just used by men, and they started to use it for wedding parties, for waking, for playing football, and there is no existence for women. So I started to search with a group of women how we can have this place. A lot of activities there, and it was very difficult at the beginning to gather all these women in this open common place, because it's a new idea for them, and it's forbidden for or not acceptable for them to be in this open place. When Sandi was in
Waiting for people to join the speaker. أنا حتى
وانا بنفس الشيء المطور هكذا في حالة طفت الكهرباء شوي عمري.
استنوني شوي. لأنها مش قادرة حتى تبعت شكلها
حتى مسج.
طيب المهم قبل ما ترجع لنا أنت شو أخبارك؟ صار إشي جديد؟
أجت عنا وفاء حكيت لك عنها وصار بدها تنفذ المدرسة سكول هي منها.
والله
هلا يوم الاثنين تقعد انا وإكرام نحط الخطة.
والله
ما
يعني
كانوش
يعطوكم
كانوش ماخذين برامج ولا من أي حدا ولا خطة من أي مركز. بس لما أجت عندي غيرت رأيي. شو بتفكر بس بتحكي إنه يعني كان في بالي فكرة تحققها وبتحكي خلينا نبدأ من الفوق يعني بما إنه في واحدة هيك شيء طرحت على يكون اسمها مدار سكول يعني مش بس بالضرورة يكون يعني نحط برنامج كل 3 شهور لإشي ويكون من بيناته أشياء يعني خطة كل يوم أو يومين في برنامج معين.
بس يطلعوا على الوكالة راح يحسوا إنه
شو حتى بعد فترة كان في عندنا اجتماع مع الجائزة لما أجت قدرة على الإفطار اللي في رمضان صار الحكي إنه قاعد جنبي مدير الخدمات بحكي لي عن الساحة هيك إنه شو رأيك يعني صار موضوع إنه التسكير وارد بشوف يعني فبيناقشني في الموضوع هيك شو رأيك يعني إنه نعمل فيها إشي هيك ونسكرها يعني. فهم بدهم يستنوا زي مشروع إنه يعني يشتغلوا في الساحة فقلت خذوا مشروع يشتغلوا إشي ثاني هلا تجيبوا مشروع عشان تسكروا الساحة فأنا فكرت إنه كم حدا يعني صار الموضوع يتردد سمعت استغربت هذا ما في 14 يجي بناقش في الموضوع.
I'm back.
Yes.
My computer stopped. It's too hot here, and I had to close and open again. Sorry for that. We continue. I was listening to you. I recorded some, but yeah, sorry for this. We continue.
No, okay.
So we was talking about my joining to this place when I joined Campus in Camps and start implementing Campus in Camps initiative. My initiative was the square. Why I choose this place? Because a new space and a new place, the only open space in the all refugee camps. The women gathering there was very difficult at the beginning because when sat with them at the beginning and asked them about drinking a cup of coffee or tea there, they was totally against the idea. But before 2 years of working, women later start to go to this place for walking, for drinking coffee or tea, and also play sport there. Now when I become the director of the Women's Center, I trying to gather also to have more women there because also when we invite them to the Women's Center, the women, most of the women didn't come to the activity, having some activity in the square. They start coming there and we start asking ourselves why they are not coming to the Women's Center, but now they are going to the square. The women start to say that they are going to the same places, to the close place again. But when they feel that at least they, what I'm trying to do now to have to focus on these women movement because as you know, Women's Center is the only places which is represent all women in Fawar, but also it doesn't work as it should be because this place was changed to be just a place for a kindergarten. Yes, and also a place for having some educational cycles and no role for women and no activities there. So I am facing a lot of problems and a lot of difficulties by starting building everything from the beginning and start to building up all these things again. But what I am trying to do to build a place for all women, even in the women's center or even in the square, in which every woman go to this place whenever she wants, without inviting her for special activities. For example, before 2 days, I was passing the suddenly see three women are working there, and when they see them, they told me that if there is no activity in the recently, if there is no activity in the square, we will just come to walk there. Where I feel very happy because I feel that women start to go this place without inviting them to special activities.
Ayat, I have a question. The women's center, there's a women's center and there's a center the square. I was thinking now, I mean, I know the two places I visited, but now it came to my mind that the center, a women's center is not enough. You still need the square, and because I was thinking, what is the difference between the women's center and the square as a space where women are meeting, people are meeting? Why we still need the square, although there is a multifunctional space, the women's center. And I know that on the top of the women's center, you're doing some farming, and then you were planning to do engage with theater performance people to do some performative English language learning, teaching, something like that. So what I was trying to think about this two space, the square and the center, which is now for me a two public space, let's say, because the center is also a kind of a public space where women come and do something together. It's not so much a closed domestic place, I think. I think this synergy between the square and center, I think, is becoming more important, I guess, isn't it? You still need a lot to square, you know, I was thinking.
Yes. I think the two places, I need the two places because when I start having a lot of activities in the square, the women's center feel that I have a lot of women coming to the activities in the square, and when they invite them to the women's center, they didn't come. So I feel that I am not working alone. I need all the women around me. So a lot of women didn't come to the square and they go to the women's center. So I need all these women in one group, and also have these activities sometimes in the women's center and other times in the school, the English language square cycles for the women. We started some center and a lot of them in the square. So to at the beginning to going for the square and going to the women's center, and that the women's center is where we are working alone. We need to have all the women
in one component in that sense is that the plaza is a sort of a place of confrontation.
Yeah.
I think of we
Yeah,
talk about
the difference, I think. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And positivities and one major thing that is really happening in the plaza, that it's becoming almost the place of conflict, the place, and I never saw participation, I have to admit.
Huh? You are back.
Hello? We are back.
I lost you both. I couldn't see.
Okay. So let me, go from the beginning of, is that I believe that one major point is that the Women Program Center is always of sort of women gathering together, accepted by the whole community and actually endorsed by the whole community, is that the place where they should meet is the Women Program Center. And this is where we give you this is the framework of your freedom, in many ways. And I think that what is major point in the plaza, that it's in the contrary, almost the space of conflict and the space of negotiation, the place where you negotiate your role in the society. And this is why sometimes I feel it's very important, this combination of both, because you cannot only be frontline in a place like the plaza, and you need sometimes a safe place where to retreat and just have yourself together and understand how then to continue. And so I believe that both places are very much supporting each other in many ways, and this is why because at the beginning, as Ayat explained, the Women Program Center, so Ayat and all the women that were together with her as almost a competitor, in that sense, competing in two places. And then she decided, no, we should be one group coming together, one group defending each other. And so in that sense, she made complete alliance with them, and they immediately asked her to become the Women Program Center director, because they thought this is what they were looking for since a while. And in that sense, when she combined both places, it become much more complete in many ways, and they have two places from where their struggle can be much stronger, and this is why I believe that they both feed each other in many ways. But then I would love to a bit maybe underline this participation by conflict, because for me it's really crucial and quite important to understand how these places are working as devices for people to struggle and to continue struggling. And there are a lot of projects that I myself did in UNRWA where everybody endorsed and agreed on, and I felt all the time that these were the easy projects to do, and we were doing this in order to combine some easy and challenge projects. And the plaza is one of the most challenging and the most controversial ones, I have to say, that we did, because the plaza is that everybody agreed and
can't hear.
born as
Yeah, it just went off and on the sound. You hear me? I don't hear you anymore. I hear you now. I see you. Yeah. Okay. It went off and on. Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, we wait 1 second, because then their connection is now. Vabbè, non puoi andare a prenderla,
Now it's okay. Now I hear you. Yeah. Now I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a question. Ayat, to you, or you both. What do you hear me? Do you hear me? I hear some sound, but from you.
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
Now I hear you. Okay. I was curious about now. Okay, now I see you. I was curious about the generation of women. Am I wrong? There is 3 generation difference. What is the difference of generation of women? How they understand and participate in plaza and in the. Sometimes I feel.
We lost you.
Huh? You hear me now?
Yes, sort
of, yeah.
We have
something going on.
It's ours or yours. We have some issues of internet connection.
Yes, I think so. It's serious. I mean, we never had so much problem. Maybe because I'm in the faculty, maybe we don't have good connection. No idea what is it. But yesterday I had a very good talk in Skype. I mean, it worked very well. Now I see you very clearly and hear you very clearly.
Yeah, me too. So let's go on.
Very quick, yeah, let's go very quick and finish. Yeah. I'm so scared of this technical thing. But later we will edit and cut these parts, and don't worry about that. And we will edit half an hour video with images and so on. I will come back on that. One of the video editor, my friend, is working on that, so don't worry. If you have the sound record, that's okay. I mean. I'm curious about the generation differences of the women. There is 3 generation in Fawar Camp, I imagine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or generation, and how they are.
3, 4,
huh? 3, 4, yeah. Is it difficult? Is it more easy, or sometimes older women, they are more open, and I feel when I work together with them. And younger women are more conservative sometimes. It's so interesting that the gender difference, the generation difference can act differently, comes out in a different way. So is it an issue in Fawar Camp, or is it not so much important?
Should I try? I mean, I will try. I think that or Palestine or even Turkey, we are all influenced by a general historical moment.
Mm-hmm.
We are becoming more and more close as a human being, being more religious phobic as a human being. So in many ways, I mean, any place around us is very much influenced by this. So if info 10 years ago they were a bit conservative, certainly they are much more conservative than this in many ways. So I think that the whole historical moment
I lost again. Yeah.
No, so what I'm saying that there is a, again, I mean, is it my connection?
I'm hearing.
You hear me? Okay, so what I'm saying that there is a context that is a historical moment of our life in this moment in the world, and there is also from the other side, the generation of a place like Fawar refugee camp has much more women with university degrees, much more women with certain responsibility, much more that of course is trying to understand how they can find for themselves a place right now. What does that mean? And especially people like Ayat and some women around her is trying to understand how can we have a role in the society, and they find themselves actually clearly struggling not only in a conservative place like Fawar, but in a general bad historical moment in our world. Know that we are completely more closing ourselves towards it. So I think that both, of course, there is a struggle that in the case of Fawar is very much coming out in many ways.
Yeah. I want to continue, but this technical thing is so strong, on and off. I was thinking, I mean, I had told already, but do you have any other plan to design any other space in the camp in Al Fawar?
No, I mean, we were even discussing a much bigger problem before, I mean, when things were cut off, because we are very much even worried for the future of this plaza, because in many ways, you know, suddenly became a very camp plaza, and the neighbors now feel a bit threatened about the fact that it's not plaza, but for everybody, and there is a bit of ownership by young generation. They go there, they want to sit, they want to do, and now there is a bit of a request from the neighbors themselves that they are questioning the plaza and if they want to close it, and the young generation is opposing this closure. So now we are into a new complete struggle. Is that what does it mean? It's completely, we see the transformation of this plaza from a neighborhood, small private plaza, which was the house that was, into something that is bigger, into, I mean, almost, if you would ask me, I would tell you this is the major success of the plaza. I mean, we almost arrived where we wanted to arrive after 8 years, but this brings with it the whole notion of challenge between old generation that feels almost new generation. We want to be there, be in the plaza. Young women want to be in the plaza, and now it tends to be not only about the right of the woman to be in the public, but the right of young generation to claim their role. And I don't know what will be happening, because now it is, I mean, we might witness even the closure of this plaza, because it's becoming really the place of struggle between young and old generation. And we will see what will be happening, no? Because young generation would say, we will occupy the plaza, we will not let them close it. This is our place, and no way. And you know, it's becoming to my mind as amazing is that when they told me, I mean, we made the plaza before Maidan al-Tahrir, no? And then after the plaza was designed and Maidan al-Tahrir was there, then people in Fawar came to me and told me, now we understand why do you want to do this plaza. If Maidan al-Tahrir was before, we would not have permitted you to do the plaza. No? In various, and it's becoming real. I don't know what will, you know, we were discussing this in the cuts, and we were very much worried, do we need to form a movement of young generation? Should we occupy? What does it, the old political, you know, all these things are going beyond what they actually blessed at the beginning. You know, they thought this would be for the weddings and the funerals and some collectivity for social collectivity, and now it's becoming the place, you know, the place of conflict, the place of claiming roles. So we are now here, and I mean it in that sense. And I'm speaking about historical moment of closure and never of opening. So I'm afraid that this will arrive also, unfortunately, to Fawar, or at least verbally, it's arriving.
So it's interesting that how
and we will see at the end what happens.
it's interesting to see how the plaza became a means of confrontation. But you hear me? I mean, I don't hear you. You hear me? I think it's going again. Ha! Now I feel, wow, it's so bad.
You managed to hear us all, or what?
Yes, I managed to hear you. And I was saying something that how the plaza becomes a means of confrontation now. Maybe this is the moment that the plaza itself becomes really the topic of the comments. You know, this is it reaches its advance. It's not about sharing the space anymore, but claiming the space by younger generation. And I'm thinking, I'm speculating, if this plaza will be closed, either occupy or close, I think I wouldn't see this design process as an unsuccessful process. I think it's
no, at all. At all. I think that it claims almost its success in of.
And this is a little bit opposite. I don't hear. No, yeah, it's gone. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's not working. It's not working. I just want to conclude. This is getting very like a torture. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes, I'm so sorry. It's getting like a torture now. But I just wanted to say very last thing. This is very opposite what architects, when they think about the role of the design in social communities, and they always tend to say that design will help to coexist the society. I mean, design will heal the society. It has always a kind of a positive humanitarian role, the design. But here, this is a totally opposite example that how design comes at the end as a means of conflict, means of confrontation. And this is, I think, the role of exactly the design, I think. This is what I was thinking. Did you hear me, the last?
Yeah, almost. I got the point. Yeah, no, absolutely.
This is what architects and designers always like to propose, you know. Let's design the square. This will help. Let's create design public space. This will heal the social conflict, you know. But here is totally the opposite. The design,
yes.
Actually, the design plays a role to create the real public, which is not the neutral public, which is the real singularities, real conflict happens. This is the public itself. And is a process. It's not a one moment. It's from process to process. I mean, that takes 8 years, you know. So you see the formation, how not only for Fawar Camp, even for a city, for a town, or for Istanbul or something, like different scale society, urban society, or local rural society, how is the society is in constant formation, and how that now we have to understand architecture and design in terms of these rules, not anymore a static and a kind of design that will be a static program that will freeze forever. You know, that this is not possible because society is not like that anymore, or it was not anymore anyway. This is what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know if you hear me. I lost you, I think.
A novel, no?
I'm sorry?
No. What we were also speaking about before is that what is happening in the plaza is almost like a novel. No, each 2-3 years, actors are different,
Yes.
Conflict is different. Things are going in a different way.
Actually.
You might have 3 years of closure and then have somebody opening it again, but it's still completely, I mean, for us, an alive project. No, they might close it and claim it completely for women at a certain point, or I don't know what will be happening
Yes, what they suggest.
in many ways, because what they are suggesting to Ayat is that close it and take it for you as a woman. So don't leave it as completely public. So from where the departure is that no women in this place, and to take it for you alone. But the compromise in all this is that you close it. No, so it's all about negotiation. It's all about claiming roles, and for me, no matter how this will change, in many ways, it's closed, it's open, it's what they do is as long as this process of negotiation is going on, then for me it is fulfilling its role as a place in the camp. So it's we were speaking about I'm not feeling in a way it's moving somewhere. It's never about everybody is seeing this, oh my God, we are failing into what we did. I don't see it this way. I believe this is a matter of negotiation. It's almost working it should be working, in this particular moment. So
I understood. I feel the same. Yeah. I want to talk more, Sandi, but the technical problem is really like getting a torture. But I think we got the main idea, and when we will edit the video and the sound together, I will ask soon today we can have some images and video clips that we can put the edit. Half an hour I will do this edit, and it's a little bit, there are many things to talk. I know Fawar and Daisha also very well, but I think it's nice to make the point. It was nice at the end to make the point, the process of Plaza and the synergy with the Women's Center, and how, and both design and both the society is very information of different level of confrontation in process, and is interesting to see the tool of an infrastructure like a Plaza as an infrastructure, how it's functioning in that way. So just I want to close now our session because it's so difficult to continue more. But I wonder if you want to say something last things. Again.
yes, you are back.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to close the session because it's getting very tortured, but at least we have a focus point on the process of Plaza and the relation with the Women's Center. With this record, Ayat, it could be good if you could send me the sound record to me. I have also a sound record here. And then we have the video. We're going to edit it in half an hour video. And I want to include in any images, any video clips from the Plaza and from the Women's Center. And we will edit half an hour. I will edit it, and this video will be in display in the Oslo Triennial in our exhibition space. And I will email you about that again. I will send the edited version also later in August to you both. So it could be good if you could send me images and video clips about the Plaza and Wafar that we can include and edit in the film, in the sound recording too.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Sorry for the technical infrastructure problem.
I mean, in the contrary, you bring us together. It has been since while the political situation here is a bit difficult, so we are not moving a lot between the cities. So I mean, we were so happy to meet actually.
Yes.
To have what's going on.
we are also not moving between cities here.
Yeah, I know it's.
Basically, from the city center, from the faculty, we don't go to. We are careful. We don't go to other cities. Two cities.
Yeah, the world is great.
Yeah. Two cities
Yeah.
is closed now. 2 towns is closed now by the military, and it's really demolished, removed. These 2 cities is near to us. I don't know. They're going to open one city today. I want to go today afternoon, tomorrow morning, if I can enter. But it's really, yeah, hard to. But we have a working airport. We can fly to Istanbul and come back. This is okay. But let's see. We will start education end of September. Or architecture faculty. I hope, I mean, the students, they have, some of the families, they have to migrate. I hope we will have a good start end of September here. But I will let you know that. And the architectural studio, master studio, we will run about camps, campus and camp. This is what we're going to do, that we spoke last time in Daishe. So the graduate studio will be focusing on Daishe and so on. So we will be in contact again. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great.
Sandi, Ayat, thank you so much, and so sorry for this technical issue. I will email you.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And speak to you very, very soon.
Yeah, speak you very soon. Yeah, yeah. Also for a graduate studio that we start in end of September. We will.
Yes, absolutely.
We will base on Daishe camp, on Fawar camp, and then I will see how. I will come back how to run the studio online or far away, what to do. I will come back on that on the design program. Yeah, yeah. And I think I have 7, 8 graduate students, master students, good number, like not much and not less, good number that we will work on that.
Good. Sounds great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.